And again, got to make it clear, none of this is done to humiliate, embarrass, harass, put anyone's safety in whatever. Clearly, all these are me documenting, showing proof, straight, solid fact, undeniable proof, documenting it and putting it out there so it ain't swept under the rug and something like, oh, I'm just going to let it go and just walk away and then go on with my life. Is that what a parent is supposed to do when they find out something like this about their own child? A parent that filed papers so many times, they said he couldn't file them anymore because he's being vindictive, but not one time did they force my ex to bring my daughter so I could see her. Straight physical fact proof, everything straight, court records. I've got nothing funny on my record. I've got nothing to hide. I'm not afraid or whatever it is. I have no problem putting any of it out there. No concern, no issue, no problem whatsoever. I've been up front, honest, and open. I've got one OP violation for saying at least tell my kid Merry Christmas in a courtroom. One OP violation the whole time dealing with all this whole fucking process of me just trying to see my kid and so on and so forth. This shit puts me to the point where I wound up in the psych ward trying to commit suicide. To turn around and find out that my ex works at the hospital and turn around and copied off over 1,000 pages of my medical records and give them to my daughter to put fear in my daughter and me. That vindictive and that fucking, like, hateful would do something like that. Try to press charges, try to do something about it. You can see my other recordings of me recording and documenting phone calls, trying to deal with all that, dealing with the St. Paul police. How can an employee that works at Health Partners go into someone's medical records 3 separate times, print out over 1,000 pages of their medical records, of it being in the psych ward, the shrink, the psychologist, the meds that they're forced to take, literally forced to take, winds up copying all them papers off, and they do nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. Police do absolutely nothing. Absolutely. I pushed and pushed and pushed that issue. They did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Hi, you've reached Lawrence Dickson. I will be out of the office until Monday, January 30th. Please leave a message and I'll return your call when I'm back in the office. If you need further assistance, press 0 to reach the reception.
Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hi, Lawrence. My name is Matthew Becker, number 61. I'm calling in regards to the problem and issue I've been having to deal with for almost 2 years now with the child protection and probation and so on and so forth. And finding out my daughter has been living under the same roof as a convicted child molester. It's been hid from me, withheld. Not one time was I ever notified, contacted, or informed about it at all whatsoever. Since 2008, they've been living together. And still to this day, the problem and the things that occurred in between now until today is drastically just getting more and more out of control and more of a problem. Now, I haven't seen my daughter one time since she's been 1.5 years old. I did all my papers, did all my filing over and over and over the way you're supposed to do it. Not one time did they enforce or do anything about me to see my kid or enforce her to bring my kid so I could see her. But instead, after so many times of filing, they told me I was being vindictive. And they put a block on me filing papers again because they said I was wasting my ex's time, blah, blah, but not one time did they ever enforce her or do anything to make her bring my kid. Nor did they even agree or do anything about trying to put someone in the middle to pick up my kid, to drop my kid off so I could visit with her, take her back, so on and so forth. Anyways, I'm dealing with Paula Pletch. She did a mandate report apparently in 2018 to apparently approve whatnot for my daughter to be living in the same house as him. She wrote in here clearly that due to my daughter living with Jeff for the past 10 years, she approved for Jeff to be alone or unsupervised with my daughter. If they're living together in the same house for 10 years, why Why was not something done then? I got a copy from a court back in 2008 when Jeff tried filing some motion to modify his or amend his unsupervised contact with his juvenile son and with juvenile daughter, his girlfriend, which would be my daughter. It's kind of funny, it doesn't say nothing about him wanting to have anything to do with his daughter, you know, his daughter, but he does with his son and my daughter. I mean, the judge ordered on it, motion to lift, no contact is not granted. Mark Mel tried to make up some fictitious deal to make, like, as Christy Watney would be a supervised person, which is back in 2005. Well, if she's a supervised person, why in 2008 would they be filing some motion and judge denying him to have that uplifted? That there is, the no contact would not be granted. Anyways, now you're a supervisor. Now I'm bringing it to your attention as I brought it to Stacy Devitt, Paul Pletch, Mark Mel, Terry Olson, the county attorney's office, all the way up the line. To emails to the governor, the attorney general. I mean, now I'm bringing it to your attention. You're a supervisor. Now it's your job to look into it, to see what is going on, what was wrong, so on and so forth. Now you're a supervisor. This is your job. This is what you're supposed to do. I'd appreciate a call back. And I'd like to resolve this before it gets any more out of hand. Thank you.
To accept and set message options, press 1. To send now, press the pound key. To mark as high importance, press 1. To read message marked as high importance. To send now, press the pound key. Message sent with high importance. Goodbye.
That was Lawrence, Child Protection Supervisor for Dakota County, number 952-891-7421.